I sang to you, Sean. You're
Hey,
welcome.
thanks. You sang to the whole audience.
About my singing abilities, but I did. Welcome to the show. It's Sadie and Sean have no friends. Our presenting sponsor, Talent Co. Real Estate. They're great, and they've got a beautiful listing up right now for the home of the week. They've got a lot of great listings, and you could take 3D tours. And that means, Sean, if you're not hip with the technology, that means you don't even have to put pants on. You don't have to leave your house or wave at your neighbors as you drive out. You do it all from your home with Cheeto crumbs on your breasts.
I couldn't have explained it any better myself. I have nothing to add.
Just where we're at now with technology, they offer that. Just go to homeandnoco.com, and thanks to them again for being a presenting sponsor. Sean, I have a list that I've been reading this morning, and I find it hilarious, and I'd like to read it to you now.
Talk to me.
And I'm going to also weave in a question for you, okay?
Okay, thank you. I love getting asked questions.
Okay. So, according to a BuzzFeed poll, who do you think the douchiest celebrity is in Hollywood?
You know I'm not very good with pop culture stuff. And
there's got to be
so
somebody
there's well, I do know some, but I feel like this list, you're going to tell me the list, and I'm going to probably honestly know a quarter of the people that you tell me. And
oh,
so
you're
the
not
real
even going to know
question,
them?
yeah, I'll know their names, but the real question will be name one thing that they've done, and a quarter of them I'll be able to do that for. I'm sure.
I bet you're going to be able
That'll
to
be
know.
the fun game.
Okay, I bet you're going to. No, you're wrong.
But here, my
okay.
guess for the douchiest celebrity would be either Kanye West or
J-Lo.
No, I wouldn't put her in there.
I would also, you know who I've always just looked at and been like, God, you seem like a douche. Bob Costas. I don't know what my anger's about, but when the Olympics come, it really revs up. I get super pissed off all the time. I hate that guy. But he actually was not even on the list. Here's someone you'll know who was on the list. And I've been laughing because people are actually writing in the experience.
Are they in an order, or are they just like?
No, they're just people
you're on the list,
like,
or you're not.
I had this experience with this person.
Oh, okay.
And some of these are kind of funny. This one I have actually heard before, Tim Allen. Have you ever heard that?
No, I'm surprised by that one.
Yeah, I hear he's a mega dick.
Know. I know he's a tool man.
Yeah, well, he stayed at a resort I worked with. That's what this person is saying. He made a waitress cry while dining in the restaurant. The other diners were laughing while he kept making fun of her. Well, then, you know what that means everybody there was awful. This is one that I've never heard before. Do you believe that Michael Jordan is a big jerk?
I've heard that he's a big jerk. Like his teammates, him and Scottie Pippen, who are like the greatest duo in the history of basketball, they don't like each other. And so if you can't even get along with your right-hand man, you're Robin to your Batman, you must be a dick.
Or maybe he went in there like, this is a job and we are not friends, like we do with this podcast.
That's true. That is very, very true. And I'm not a dick. I just don't like you.
Okay, now listen. You know what? Just got that. It hurt. I actually had like an experience. When I was in high school, I waitressed at a Bennigan's. Damn, I love Bennigan's. They're all gone now. They're like extinct.
The Monte Cristo, it should go down in the Food Hall of Fame.
So good. So I worked at a Bennigan's, and one day it was like a Sunday, and it was kind of slow, and this family comes in, and there's a kid sitting there. And this was at the height of when they tried to bring back the Star Wars, but they just pissed everyone off with Jar Jar Binks. It was that era. And so I said to this little boy, I said, oh my goodness, you look just like the little boy on Star Wars. Well, come to find out, it was the kid who played Anakin Skywalker, the little boy, lives in Fort Collins, or lived. And he and his family were eating. Now, instead of being like, oh, that's so funny, he didn't even look up from his pissant kids menu. And he goes, yeah, I get that a lot. And then he was a dick the whole time I waited on him.
How old was he?
He was probably 14. He had an acne issue. You know, this was a couple years after it came out. And I know that this is a couple years after it came out because I worked at Taco Bell and they did this big promotion for the new Jar Jar Binks Star Wars movie. And every Taco Bell, they would send thousands of these scratch off tickets and you could win tacos or money. And I would spend entire shifts scratching these tickets.
Did you win anything?
A shit ton of tacos, but I could have eaten a taco there on my own. But I have to, that's always just stuck in my head where I'm like, I didn't win one thing, but a taco.
I used to win stuff at Taco Bell, not on the scratch off tickets, but you remember those things that were filled with water and you dropped a coin and then you had to catch them on the little.
Oh, yeah.
And you could win cinnamon
like
twists.
A game.
Yeah. Oh, I would win. I won a lot of free cinnamon twists, and Taco Bell should bring those back because I would go inside.
I think
now I only
there.
go through the drive-through. No.
Oh, you mean the games?
With the water.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know how to explain it. It's you drop the coin. Well, you do, but the audience might not. It's like a thing, and it's filled with water, and you drop a coin in it, and it's got these little ledges. And if you catch the coin on the ledge, depending on which one you catch it on, you won either a taco or cinnamon twists, or I think that.
And they took that stuff. They took those quarters to the bank. And you got your cinnamon sticks, you know.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, how did this have anything to do with the Taco Bell talk? How did that have anything to do with
because
Anakin Skywalker at Bennigan's?
Stay with me on this. What I'm saying is, by the time he came into Bennigan's, he wasn't like that cute little kid. During that cute little kid time, I was working at Taco Bell trying to win me some money so I could quit working at Taco Bell. So by the time he came into the restaurant, Bennigan's, he was older and he was pimply and he was an asshole. And I thought, you're a little shithead. And so I've heard that from time to time. And
what's his name?
I don't know, little Anakin Skywalker fucker.
No, his actual name.
I don't remember. I don't know.
I was just wondering if he ever did anything else and he made this.
I don't think he did. I think he got arrested on some stuff. I think he became one of those child actors that,
Macaulay Culkin.
No, Macaulay Culkin, I think, is doing fine in his life.
No, last time I saw him, it looked like he did a lot of meth at one point.
Well, okay. Now, this next one made me laugh out loud, literally. And it says, this person wrote, Sam Shepard called me a fucking idiot because I didn't know who he was. I was bartending and he wanted his tab. I said, fuck you, what's your fuck face? Now, I know that's a lot of F words. And I debated on reading that, but it just made me laugh so hard. First of all, I don't know who Sam Shepard is. Please tell me he's not the guy from Jurassic Park.
I don't know. Do you really? I don't know who he is. I'm about to Google it.
Okay. Sean put his mic down to Google him. So who is he? If he's the guy.
Oh, he looks like a dick.
Okay, but he's not the Jurassic Park guy?
I don't know. I'm still trying to find that out. I just looked at a picture of him.
How do you not know just by looking at him?
I've never seen Jurassic Park.
Oh my.
You're supposed to keep talking. He's old, so he's been in a lot of stuff.
Okay.
Like in the 70s and stuff. He was in Black Hawk Down.
Okay. Hang on. You know what? You're taking so much time.
Bloodline.
No.
He was in like a lot of plays.
That could be him. Okay, let's move on. Now,
what year was Jurassic Park? Because I found him in year order.
That had to be in 94? No, 92?
Yeah, he wasn't in that.
Wow, this podcast winning awards left and right.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Well, we can relate to the lady who didn't know who Sam Shepard was because we just Googled him and we still don't know who he is.
Right. This one is not shocking at all. When I first read it, it was shocking, but there's a reason why. This person says Steven Seagal. She says, I was a waitress in New Orleans and he came to eat. He wouldn't speak to me. His assistant did all the talking. Also, when I passed him in the hall, I smiled like I do for every customer, and he looked at me and like I smelled like shit. Now, why this was so shocking to me at first was I thought it said Steven Spielberg. And I'm like, damn, I would not have called that, but I've heard Steven Seagal is the worst. Next on the list, Carrot Top. Why is it's all like really shitty people? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, why is Carrot Top a dick? He looks like he would be a nice guy.
I don't know. This person
Roid
says,
rage.
Biggest douche ever. Not sure if he counts as a real celebrity, but I was walking down the street in California and I saw him. I'm actually not a fan of the guy, but I smiled and asked if I could get a photo, and he looked down at me like I was scum and said F you. You piece of ass. Dang, Carrot Top's angry. It's the steroids.
That's what I said. Roid rage for sure.
Allegedly.
Last time I saw him, he was real jacked.
You saw him like in a picture or in real life?
In real life, I went to a show. Have you been to a show in Vegas?
That's hot.
I didn't even know what he was. I thought he was a
No.
stand-up comic. I really
He's
did.
like
I
a
went
dumb prop guy.
Yeah, it's a prop thing. I thought it was just a stand-up comedy show. I must admit it was pretty good. He's got this like treasure box full of dildos, and he pulls them all out, and he has a joke for each one that he swings around. It was funny. I thought it was great. I would go back to a Carrot Top show, even knowing he's a douche.
Really? I wouldn't go. Never have I been, nor will I ever go till I die because he's a douche. This one made me laugh because I'm like, well, yeah, no jerk. Jesse Jackson.
Is he the
Oh,
civil rights guy? Who's Jesse Jackson?
he is the civil rights guy. But you know who I was thinking of? Joe Jackson, the dad of the Jackson 5. He's the dad from the Jackson 5. And I'm thinking, well, no shit. Didn't he beat his whole family? But no, this person says Jesse Jackson, an elderly African-American guy who's the president of the NAACP, blah, 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 blah. He snubbed him and ignored him.
Well, Jesse Jackson is he's an angry little man. He's an angry little elf. He's I don't know, he's one of those like race baiters.
I agree with that.
Most of us go around our life, and I don't know about you, but I don't really see color. Like, I don't see a black dude on the side of the street. Like, that's not what I see, but he like makes it about that. And most of us
about everything.
Yeah. Like, I flipped that guy off because he cut me off in traffic, not because he was black.
Yeah. You spilled coffee on yourself, not because you're black, but because your hand just slipped with the cup.
Correct.
I mean, my gosh. Now, this one I think is very awesome. And I know that this person says this person sucks, but I'm reading it and I'm like, that's cool. Golfing at a celebrity police fundraiser event. Met many celebrities that day. One was Jack Nicholson. I tried to approach him. This person says, I was a kid at that point, and he raised his club as if he was going to hit me. I think that's so funny. And I do honestly think that if that happened to any of my children, I'd be like, tell the story. Tell the Jack Nicholson story about that one time he pretended to hit you.
Last I heard, Jack Nicholson was on his deathbed, but that was like 6 months ago because he doesn't go to Laker games anymore. And like he always said that he would go to Laker games until he died. And so it was obvious that he was going to die, but I keep waiting for the news to come out that Jack Nicholson died, and he's still kicking somewhere.
Yeah, I didn't hear that he had died. This next one is a little taboo. I don't even know if I should. It's close to home, literally, because my neighbor is Ashton Kutcher's brother.
Your neighbor probably watches this. I hope he does.
Which is a stupid.
Maybe he can kick some sense into old Ashton.
This is what somebody said. The day before the Super Bowl in Dallas, in 2011, there was a house party, and my friend was working security, blah, 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 blah. And Ashton was there, and he was hanging out with Demi. He said, my friend greets them and politely asks them to get off the stairway because it is a fire hazard. Demi apologizes and walks away, but Ashton became frustrated and screamed at him, boop, 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 boop. So what am I going to do? Do I walk over and knock on the door and go, hey, we got a problem. I just read on BuzzFeed, your brother's not being very nice to people.
Sometimes, though, I don't even think you have to be a celebrity for a situation like that to piss you off. There's just some people. I was at a bowling tournament this weekend, and there's this guy. He's a really, really nice guy. I like this guy a lot. He's not a douche ever. And they needed to push this like cart through with all kinds of heavy stuff on it. And so they asked this guy, they said, hey, can you move your bowling balls and all this stuff that was in the way? Can you move it out of the way for a second so we can push this through? And it made him really mad. And he grabbed all his bowling balls and just like started throwing them. And so sometimes you can just be set off. You get, I feel like a douchebag is a 3-strike sort of situation. If you do that often, like you
like
get
Carrot Top. I've heard more than once that Carrot Top is not a nice person.
You get a couple slip-ups before you're officially a douche. So I'm not going to officially call Ashton Kutcher a douche yet.
Well, he says Ashton said, this is what this claims. This person said that he said, Ashton said, how much money do you make? And
Oh,
some of these also seem like really kind of, is this made up? How much money do you make? It doesn't matter. I'm going to get you fired. Boop, 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 boop.
yeah, that's not nice.
So yeah, so now it's going to be awkward if I see him walking to the mailbox. I'm going to be, should I flag him down?
Well, what you really should
Because-
do is next time Ashton Kutcher's at an event to support his nieces or nephews or whoever's in your neighborhood, you should ask him to move and see if he does it to you. Be like, hey, you're blocking this
Sir,
fire exit, sir. Can I ask you
you
to
get
move?
off the stairs. I'm trying to walk by. And if
And
he
if he's
says,
an
how much
ass,
do you make? I'll
yeah.
say, bitch, you would laugh at how much I make. And how dare you? And, but I don't know. These could all be completely fake, but some of them just made me laugh. I've never heard that otherwise Ashton is a bad person. So, or is mean to people. So that was shocking to me.
You got to remember too, all of these people that you're bringing up right now are the kind of celebrities, most of them anyways, that are followed around all the time by the paparazzi. And then if they go out to eat, they're
I
asked
know,
by
like,
every person in America for pictures. And like, I'm sure at some point people just become annoying to them because they feel like they can't do anything without being bugged.
it kind of did make me sad because again, I don't know why I bring this up so much. Is my life this empty? But Ashton Kutcher was at Sophie's graduation, but it was actually also his nephew's graduation, obviously. And I did feel bad because somebody took a picture of them, and it was like wildfire. Everybody's phones were going off because every mom and every dad and everybody was like, look at this shit. There's Ashton Kutcher. And then they were forwarding it to 10 people they knew or they'd have bad luck. And I'm like, damn, let these people live. I myself, no one knows who I am, but I sometimes get nervous going out with Murphy because she's just at a very kind of like unpredictable age. It's like Boone, you know, like you don't know what you're going to get. So if your kid throws a fit in the Red Lobster, well, then you drag him to the car. If you're those people, you don't get the luxury. I mean, you could be scratching your nose and it could look like you're picking your nose and then it spreads like wildfire. You know
Let
what I
me tell you,
mean?
I don't want to do it right now, but this is a reminder that before this episode ends, I have to tell you about Boone and the Red Lobster last night. But that being said, yeah, you have to always be done up too. I would feel like you always feel like you have to,
Yeah.
because you know it doesn't matter if you're going to your niece's graduation in Fort Collins, Colorado, or if you're going to Walmart in LA, or if you're going, doesn't matter if you're out in public, somebody's going to take a picture of you. And so at all times, you almost have to be like on. And
Yeah.
sometimes it's nice to be off.
And sometimes you're just kind of having a bad day. And what's good for the majority of people, the majority of us is that, you know, we don't have to interact as much to where you're right. You can't walk into a store without 27 people wanting to be near you or touch you or smell you or take a picture with you. And that would get tiring. But again, there are a lot of celebrities who are just known a-holes.
One
And
thing I will
I don't
tell
know.
you is given the choice to live my life right now where I can go to Walmart and no one touches me or takes pictures of me and having the bank account that I have right now versus being Ashton Kutcher and having his bank account and having every person want to fondle me, I'm going with Ashton Kutcher every time. Like bring on every grandma at Walmart, but give me that bank account.
I thought you were going to be really deep and be like, my family, my
No,
bank account, give me my life. That's what I
no.
like. Oh, you went
Give me
the
that bank
opposite
account.
way.
Give me
Yeah,
that bank
I
account.
know, me too. Because I'm kind of like, all right, you had to come to shithole Fort Collins, which I love Fort Collins. I was born and raised here. But to them, maybe they were like, to them, it's probably like Hayes, Kansas, you know, population nobody. And they got there and then they get to go home. And I'm sure they have a house that looks at the ocean. And I do also think it's worth that. I do think I
Agreed.
would trade it all for an ocean house. God, we're the
What I will tell
worst.
you though is with all of that comes some annoyance at some point. Like especially you, I think, comparing you and I. Like at some point you're going to be at Walmart and you're going to be wanting to buy one of those cheap bras and the 15,000th person of the day is going to come up and be like, "Oh my god, Sadie's buying Walmart bras. Can I get a selfie with you?" And you're going to snap. You're
No,
going to
I'm
snap.
not. I've never
And you're going to
snapped
end
on
up on a
anybody. I've never snapped on
yeah, but
anybody.
you've never lived that life.
You're right, I haven't. But I honestly can say there are snappy people and then they're not snappy. And I'm not a snappy person. Believe it or not, I'm really not.
Yeah, but I tell you that fame and that shit all the time changes people.
Yeah, I do think it's a little bit sad.
Right.
Also, do you want to go to your topic here?
I mean, my topic is a really quick story about Boone at the restaurant last
Oh,
night.
yeah.
But
Tell us what happened.
okay, so last night we went out to eat. I have a buddy who's in town, and he lives in Dallas, and he comes to Colorado because he's from here every now and then, and he'll stay in our basement because we have an extra room for like a week. And so his week here is ending, so he always
Okay.
likes to take us out to dinner to show his appreciation for staying at our house. So we go to dinner last night at a chain restaurant. Everything was fine. We're like 3/4 of the way through the meal, and next thing I know, Boone says that he has a spider crawling on him, and I look down and Quentin yells, "Black Widow." And I look and it looked pretty Black Widow-y to me. And Boone, he
Where was
doesn't
it at? On his pants?
on his shirt, like between his shirt and his pants, like in his waist area. And I'm sitting next to him, and I hate
And
spiders
you're
too.
a scaredy cat.
I hate spiders too. And like adrenaline kicked in. Boone starts screaming at the top of his lungs. I mean, blood curdling screaming. This is a restaurant that is very, very packed.
Is it
And
really Red Lobster?
no, it wasn't Red Lobster. It's a place called Cheddar's. Y'all
Oh,
don't have
okay.
them
Got it.
up your direction, but it's a chain. They're all over. And so I thought about hitting it with my hand, but I also thought Black Widow, if I miss or only get a piece of it and it bites my finger.
I mean,
So,
why do we both have to die, Boone? I mean,
yeah.
why do I have to get involved?
Well,
Okay.
now Boone, at this point, he's like trying to shake it off and it's going to go flying somewhere and bite somebody. And so I got a knife and I used the other end of the handle part of the knife, and I did get it squished. No one got bit. I
But when you
squished
say
it so good that I can't. We were all examining it to see if it was a Black Widow indeed or not. I cannot confirm nor deny, but I'm pretty sure it was a Black Widow.
so when you say you did it, do you mean Shannon did the squishing?
No, she was on the other
You
side of the
did
table.
it?
I had to do the squishing. It was Quentin, Boone, and then me in this side of the booth. And so I had to save him. But
Were you in
it
the
was
corner where you couldn't get out?
no, I was on the end. I could have
Wow,
gotten
that
out.
is true
Yeah.
sacrifice. Because if somebody bet me $100 if you would have run or not, I would have been like, he gonna run out right of that restaurant.
I
He's
will
gonna
tell you
leave-
this much. I probably would have. If it was a daddy long legs, I probably would have ran out. Because knowing that it's not going to hurt anybody. But Quentin yells Black Widow. I look down and all I see is like the red hourglass on its back and like Boone's life flash before my eyes. And I was like, I got to step into hero mode. I'm not going to get a medal for this one, but I'm going to step in and save him. And so I did, and I got it. I got
Were
that
you
thing. I
also
didn't
kinda
run. I
like-
didn't scream, but it did get my adrenaline going. I was a little shaky for a minute there. I couldn't finish my meal.
Okay.
And then the waiter comes by. He's like a young waiter. I think he told us he was 21 or 22. He's a really good waiter, but he comes by and he was like, "Did y'all take away his iPad, or what was the commotion over here?" And
Sir,
so I
why
show
are
him
you weeping?
I show him the end of the knife, and I was like, "There's a spider on this knife," and he ran. He was like, "I'm so scared of spiders." I was like, "Well, that was a Black Widow," and he was
Did you
like,
get like
"Oh
a dessert
no."
for free?
No, he didn't do anything. He was so scared after that. At that point, I think he probably went home from his shift. I bet he didn't wait
He
any
was
more
like, you know
tables.
what, Cheddars? I'm out this bitch. You
One
got
Black Widow means
Widows.
there's more Black Widow somewhere else.
That means that. Have you ever watched? If you're afraid of spiders, have you ever watched the movie Arachnophobia?
No, I mean it wouldn't affect me.
No, I don't know. I think if you watched it, because that's one of those movies where you feel like 5 minutes into the movie, you're like, what's that on my shoulder? And it's just your hair. But you start kind of getting that where you're like, and everybody gets it because there's a scene at the end where Jeff Daniels plays the dad, and this house is infested with these murderous poison Amazonian spiders. And as he's running downstairs to get out of the house, they're coming down on string. I mean, like, ugh. If I got you a copy, would you watch it?
I'd watch it. It seems I have it probably on my streaming service. It's
You're
like the
right.
black market. So I'll look
It's
it up.
not
I'll watch it.
1990.
Doesn't seem believable to me, so I don't think that I'd have a problem with
No,
it. I'm not like scared. This me being scared of spiders isn't like the same. Like if there's a snake, if I knew there was a snake in this room right now, I would be gone. I would be screaming like a girl, and I would probably never come back in this room. Yeah, there's a spider. Even if it's a black widow and it's over there on the wall, I can deal with it. I'm just not the type of guy. Like I don't usually like to squish them. I don't like the crunchy feeling and sound. It's more of a texture thing, if you will, for
Mm,
me. I'm not
yeah.
spiders aren't necessarily like the nemesis of me. Snakes for sure, but not spiders.
See, I don't like spiders at all. It's terrifying. That movie still completely skeeves me out. Ugh, but I still think you should watch it. I
I'll
think you
watch
would
it for
dig
sure.
it. It's
The
very
funniest
good.
slash cutest part of the night last night, though, was after we left dinner and we went home. All night, Boone, unprompted,
Had a
was telling.
fever.
No, he was telling Shannon and I, both of us, I'm really happy that that spider didn't bite me because I would have died.
Oh my God.
And he doesn't. I don't. How does he know about black widows? Maybe Quentin's told him about it, but he kept saying that. He's like, I'm really happy that I didn't die because that spider bit me.
My God, maybe your son has the gift.
I don't know
That maybe
what I want
Mystic
to look it
Joel
up.
needs to talk to your son.
I was gonna look like, does a black widow, is it a death sentence if it bites you? Like, how close was this kid
I
to
don't
death?
know.
I think that there's like anti venom now. You can probably get him to the ER
I
and
don't know, Sean. How big
suck
of
it
a
out with a
hero are
straw.
you?
I mean,
Uh,
if he needed to be pissed on like a jellyfish, I'd pee on him.
In all honesty, I would never go to Australia, which I hear is a stunning country, because I've heard the spiders there are so big. And I think about that. I do think about that. And then my mind goes to, what do Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban do?
They
I mean,
lived in
how
the
do they
city where
deal
there's
with
no
spiders?
it's not like they just run rampant around Sydney. Like
I
there's
don't know. I've
cities
only
there
been out of
where
the country to go to Mexico. So tell me what the world is like.
I haven't been to Australia either, so I can't
Because
like
I'm
speak
just
from
imagining
experience.
Keith Urban just swatting giant spiders
No,
every day.
I don't think that's how it is. I think you go to the areas just like there's areas in the United States where if you go, you might see some crazy animals. And they have those areas there with big spiders and like killer kangaroos and stuff, but
So what
they're
have
not
you ever
everywhere.
seen videos of kangaroos fighting people? It's like
They're so jacked.
they're so
I
jacked.
cannot believe how like muscular kangaroos are.
I
I
can't
thought they
even
were
believe it.
photoshopped when I saw the pictures.
That's what I hope to see before I leave this earth is a video of Sean fighting a kangaroo. Because I think it'd be great.
I don't know that they just want to like fight. I don't know that you just put them up against a man and they just start swinging.
Now, am I naive or wasn't that a thing at one time in American history where they would because kangaroos box each other? What are you talking about?
Each other, they don't just box people.
Have you seen the videos where they have boxed people before?
No, I'll have to check it out.
Holy shit,
And
get
what
ready
happens
to
if
open
you
your
won?
world.
There's no winning for the human in that situation because if you get your ass kicked, you got your ass kicked by a kangaroo. But if you win and you knock the kangaroo out, Pete is going to come after you. So
Oh, I don't care. If the kangaroo's after me, that's another one of those animals, like a hippo. Hippos always look so cute in movies, but they say they're one of the
they're
most
mean.
deadliest animals in the world. And I also feel that way. And so I don't know. Kangaroos freak me out. I've seen a video, and there's a really popular one online where there's a guy and he's got his dog, and the kangaroo gets the dog, and the guy goes fisticuffs for the dog. I'd be like, holy shit, that's a huge kangaroo. I love you, Sprinkles. I'll
Yeah,
see
just
you.
like when your actual dog got taken by the hawk, you probably could have gotten the hawk and you just let it go.
I was like, my blood sugar's low. Just kidding. That was a very sad day. I wish you
Yeah,
would
sorry
stop
to keep
bringing it
bringing it
up.
up.
Okay. We are going to end today's episode, really, which was just like a fever dream. What did we even talk about? No one knows. But you can find all of it. We're almost to 100 episodes, Sean.
Yeah, we need to have a celebration. We're only like eight. My numbers are always off from yours. Is this really episode 92?
This is 93.
Okay. Well, I'm
I know.
close. My numbers are catching up. So we need to plan something in the next 7 days.
That's right. Be sure to follow us on social media, like and subscribe. If you haven't watched us on video, well, you're just going to be tickled pink because Sean is as handsome as the devil. And you can do that on our YouTube page or channel and Facebook page. I feel old. Thank you. I'm going to end this today by saying thank you to our friends at Christiana Salon and Spa. Sean, I'm excited because guess what? I have a wedding this weekend coming up. My niece is getting married, and I'm going to pick any hairstyle I want from Pinterest, and I am going to go in and they're going to do it for me. I can't wait. I don't even know how to do my own hair, so they help me. I'm kind of like a charity case to them, and I appreciate it very much. So if you want to go in, Just say Sadie and Sean have no friends. You get 10% off, whether it's a massage or facial, or you're getting your hair did, or your nails, or men you can come into. Sean, you got anything to add?
You should get your hair permed. I think you should go like Reba 1994.
Fancy.
Bring it back.
Do you know, I don't even want to give this idea away, speaking about Reba, but do you know what I think I'm going to be for Halloween? I've already planned it.
Well, I bet I can't guess now.
I'm going to be Reba, but I'm going to wear a red.
I would have never guessed it.
Shut up and let me say the costume. I'm going to wear a big red fro wig, and then I'm going to wear a red dress. And on my shoe, my fancy shoe, I'm going to glue a cockroach. Ring. You get it? Do you get it?
I get it. That's a good costume. I think you should do it, except for there's one thing I would change about all of that.
What?
You're friends with Christiana Salon, so you should get your hair done into a real red afro. Not why a wig?
Commit. It's a great idea. They're located in Johnstown, right by Shields. Go see him today and give him that code word, Sean. I hope you have a great rest of your day.
I hope you do too, Sadie. Goodbye.
Goodbye.